This is an emergency transmission. Citizens of the world, please, make no mistake. The zombie apocalypse is near. Will you cower and hide, or join us and fight? We are Dezombified, so stay on point and watch your six.
I'm looking.
Can we get some hearts to make sure people hear us?
Oh yeah, I think.
Yes, flood the chat with the green hearts, please.
Hello. Am I bright enough? I don't know if anyone can see me, because I know you don't want to see my glorious face. My glorious face. The face.
I can't see the plus. See the plus. Oh, I want to see the pigger face. I got the banshee face. I want to see the banshee face.
Mia steals the show. What? What has happened? I don't know.
And we introduce Banshee.
Oh, yes. Hi, people. And let's not forget, we have the beautiful, talented Patches. Forget Mary. We got Patches.
Yeah, fuck Mary. We don't need her. We don't need her. We don't need no stinking Mary here.
We need Mary.
We love Mary. We love you, Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the one that said that. I had nothing to do with it.
Hey, okay. All right, Mary.
I'll remember
Mary,
that.
After the show, how about I take you to that special place that you always like, huh?
Yeah, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to.
Yeah.
I'll take you to that special place that
Oh,
we
you
always
better.
go to.
Oh my!
You better.
Gee.
I'm gonna bring that bacon grease too. Guess what I'm gonna do with that bacon?
Oh,
wait, we're alive. Sorry.
Oh.
Speaking of bacon grease, my husband found something at the store this week that he sent me a picture of it. I'll have to put it in our Discord so you guys can see it. But it was uncured bacon jelly.
What?
And apparently this is not a new thing.
What?
Because
What am I doing with my life?
What do I do with it?
On the
Royal jelly.
You put it on bread or toast and you eat it, apparently. But it's listed on the shelf pricing as classic bacon jam.
Oh.
Not cured though?
We're jamming and more
And
ways
I'm
than one,
going-
aren't we?
If this is classic, does that mean there's a new version?
I don't know, but I need it in my life like now.
Yeah.
Like yesterday.
I
My
love.
YouTubes.
I call it bacon butter. I use it all the time. I make bacon and I
Bacon
take all
butter.
that fat and I put it in a
yes.
mason jar and save it for cooking later.
God.
Oh, no, it's a kinky, but it's also good collagen. It's a nice little beauty treatment.
It is.
Yeah.
Look, the only where that bacon's going is in my mouth.
Mm.
We want external as well as internal.
No, I just want it. I want it internal.
I'm dying here.
Oh, it got hot, didn't it?
Oh God, yes. But you know what? I'm glad you said you're dying, because guess what today's show's all about today. Oh God, yeah, we're going there again. We're all dying. We're all dying. We're all dying right now.
And we're
Fact
dying in
is,
the
you
worst
cannot-
way.
Yes, we are. We are dying in the worst way. But you know what keeps me from dying in the worst way?
What keeps you from dying in the worst way, Banshiba? Tell me, please.
Drinking out of my zombified coffee mug.
Well, there you go.
Yes.
Lifesaver.
Ah.
Oh yeah.
Well, you'll stay hydrated that way at least.
Oh yeah.
And just hope nobody puts anything with the POISON in it.
Now, why would Mary?
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. I am not awake enough for you to be spelling words at me. I can't keep up with it. I got it. It took me a second. It was a little while. I'm there. Okay. Yeah. Great.
Pop quiz.
Pop quiz. Yeah. Thank you to Dezombified for putting the suicide prevention hotline information in there and pinning it to the top. People, if you feel like, if you are at that point where you feel like that the only way that things are going to get better for you is to die, please call somebody.
Yeah.
If it's not someone you know, call your local suicide prevention hotline, whether that's your national number or whatever.
The veterans hotline.
Yeah, there's a veterans hotline. There's a national one. I know every country in the world probably has their own national hotline. I know Australia does. I know the UK does. I even know France does. That's a scary thought.
Oh yeah.
So
no, because I felt like throwing myself off the top of the Eiffel Tower when I saw it. I was just like, you know what? I always wanted to go to Paris. I got there and I'm just like, wow, this place sucks. Nothing against French. I love you guys. I'm just saying.
No, Paris is a stinky town. But please, there are people that care. Suicide, you think it's probably your best way out, but it's not. And believe it or not, you will hurt people you can't even imagine.
And also, people, I should know these things because I'm the Grim Reaper. I know these things. I know when your time, and I'll tell you. Right now, it isn't. Okay? Enjoy the rest of your life.
Yeah.
I actually heard a theory that ghosts are people who died before their time and they can't cross over until it is their time. Now, I don't know if there's any truth in that, but I heard that in a discussion this week and I thought I liked that. That was a very interesting thought.
Yeah.
And whether it's death by suicide or death by something else, it's people that die before their time and then they have to wait until their time, which doesn't explain people like Anne Boleyn. And anyway, we'll get into them later.
Guys, this is like a monumental moment right now. Fuzzle is sitting here so peacefully and just so and I just needed to tell you all of this. This is a surprise. I almost want to turn my camera on just to show you.
Almost. Realize how many people are jealous of Fuzzle right now.
You know, you turn the camera on and he's going to get camera happy and he won't be sitting there.
I know, ready? So, okay, hold on. Wait, guys. I need this for my own. Oh, God. Okay, 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Ready? You see him?
Oh,
hi.
Hello, Fuzzle. You're a good boy. You're a good boy, Fuzzle. Good boy, you do. Oh my God.
You little cuddle monster. Yes, you are.
We're gonna scare the poor thing. It's gonna be terrified and run away. Poor thing. Sorry. Fuzzles, we're sorry in advance.
Fuzzle is going to, Fuzzle.
And I see a Mary Boob.
Oh yeah.
That's not what we're focusing on today. We're focusing on digital flip over.
It just went out the window. Don't forget to go to Dezombified.com to get your mug, to get your leggings, to get your blanket.
There's throw pillows, your towel, your fanny pack.
Oh, yeah.
You don't forget your fanny pack.
Your hoodies.
Yes.
Your hoodies.
Your leggings.
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
Fill up the packages.
Oh.
You know, one of these days we're going to get fishnets, right?
Yeah, Kenny. Mm-hmm.
Yes. A full bodysuit with Kenny in it.
Oh, we just upped the ante there. Did anyone tell Kenny?
I don't know.
We're going to have to strap him down. There's no way he can't get away from this.
Oh no. Okay, so where are we? I'm lost. Before we get to their subject today, which is, as Banshee was said, the worst ways to die. Let's see who's in the chat. We've got our sock goblin, amazing what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And we have
What
a great,
the fuck? Hi, I see you.
Oh,
and
hi,
we
I'm a
have
resident shark.
Resident Shark, Fear the Great White. Dun, 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 dun.
Hello.
Who is not talking that we have that I can find on the lurkers list? Realities in perspective.
Hi.
Hi,
Yay.
you.
Hi.
Peekaboo. Peekaboo, we see you.
Hello. I shouldn't be doing this because it's going to mess up my YouTube again.
Don't do that then.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out why Dame wasn't blue, Sock Goblin. That was my question earlier that I totally got derailed.
It's probably YouTube probably did something weird and something in the back end happened.
We've had them stop or put moderators in timeout before, so yeah, that's
I wonder what offense I've done. You know, I take that as flattery. That means I'm getting some attention.
That's exactly why Puzzle's sitting on my lap, is to get some attention right now.
Yeah, he wants the attention.
Yeah.
So if you haven't, wait a minute, I'm going to take away he's going to beat me up. Patches.
Yeah, what?
Patches.
Oh, it's my turn, huh? Is it me? Is it me now? Okay, guys.
You now.
Go.
Guys, look. You know, we've talked about this, okay? How do I say? Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell to get more people in here. Damn it! We have this discussion every single time. Come on!
Listen to Patches because I gotta save my eardrums.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we don't like him screaming that much because Patches loses his voice after a while.
Yeah.
Although you do a great job with karaoke with me. I do like us singing together.
Oh, we also have a special appearance from my cat today, who's decided that she's going to meow into the mic. It's okay.
Hello, kitty.
This is Cutie, Cute Patoots Love Bug. And she's
Meow.
Puzzle is now trying to get to her. So
Lovely.
And she sees love where we're going on, huh?
Are you gonna be a good boy now? You gonna be a good boy? Okay.
Good boy.
No. I don't want to be a good boy.
He's like,
I know, why not?
Okay, I
No.
ain't gonna be good.
Bathsheba,
Yeah.
you have a sock goblin in your closet again.
Might. Maybe.
no, I'm under the bed. What?
No,
Oh,
I
it's the
thought
other one.
You're under the bed.
Oh.
I got things and people. Just they're everywhere in my house. I
got a
Go ahead.
question. I'm gonna
Yeah.
derail us real quick. If I got a TikTok, guys, would you watch it?
Yes, I already do.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Goodness.
I just want to know because I'm looking for a physical form of myself to go into a TikTok right now.
So guys, if you have doing artwork and you want to do artwork of Patches, that would be great, and you can send it to weallscream.horrorhoneys@gmail.com.
Or make me a stuffed animal, a puppet.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So that he can do TikToks.
Yeah.
Or she can do TikToks. I'm not even sure.
I'm a baby.
You're gender neutral. Who cares?
Yeah. So
I'll be expecting duets.
Where are we going to start this from? Okay, I'm going to go into this one because this is the one that I think people probably think this is probably a really bad way to die. It's on my list of the top 5. So yeah.
I mean, anywhere where I'm not breathing is not a good way.
The worst way to die. The worst ways to die, people. We're going through the worst ways to die.
We are.
Yeah.
Worst.
Impalement. Now,
Oh.
there is more than one way to impale somebody.
What? There's more than one.
If in some places they talked about couple impalement, where they got a man who was, or a woman who was cheating on their spouse. Especially if it was a female, the husband or the other spouse or wife had the chance of having the two face to face and impaled one through the other, usually the female, then the male, going through the lower back up.
Like a
So-
shish, like a
like a shish kebab.
Oh,
yes.
Ah!
And then they would stake it in the ground, and obviously gravity works.
Mhm.
So yeah, this was on the books in the 17th century.
Wait,
so
what was the thing that they impaled them with? What was that? Did I miss that?
it's just a wooden.
Oh, okay.
stake.
So now I'm thinking of Splinters, like with the whole gravity thing.
Oh.
Oh god! Oh god!
God.
Oh
That would
god!
be the
Oh
last.
god!
We
Oh,
have to
God.
learn how to-
What
You
people are
had the
worrying about is
splinter
the
people,
splinters.
but think of it in an extreme form right there.
Mm.
That's all it is. You got a tiny fraction of what impalement is.
cheater kebabs.
Oh,
Yes.
oh god!
dear,
So
that's
many.
a good one. So
And also
This
made me
is
think of
cringe.
Vladimir Dracul, of what he had done
Yes.
centuries ago in
he wasn't the most prolific, nor was he the first or the last to do
Yes.
it.
Mhm.
The two ways is obviously back to front, which they use the lower back and they move up through the body cavity and come out the chest.
No.
The other way is anus to mouth.
Ah!
I'm done.
And
Yeah.
No!
Good show, guys. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm done.
and
Well, it'll take more than
obviously-
mouthwash to take care of that, people.
yeah, that
Oh god!
obviously that
Splinters
is
everywhere.
That is going to take care of you right away. Back to front is probably, there's a chance that you might actually live longer
I don't
in
want to live.
that.
I
Now,
don't want to live now.
Oh
good
my
night.
god.
Good night,
Ooh,
goosebumps.
Oh, run, good night, run, quick,
Yeah.
while you
Hi,
still
Gigi.
can.
Hi,
How
Gigi.
you doing?
Hello, good night,
I haven't seen you in
goosebumps.
so
I'm
long.
I'm so glad you guys can't see my face right now because the facial expressions I'm making hearing this is just I am
Well,
beyond.
we do want to see them
Oh my
anyway. I think it'd be
God.
entertaining.
Oh, it was fear.
I'm sorry, but
Hammurabi. How many of you all remember Hammurabi? Hammurabi's code, it was the first quote unquote written code of law we have record of at this point.
Yes,
It
that goes
predates,
back in ancient Sumerian times, right?
yes, it predates the Ten Commandments even though some of the Ten Commandments are actually listed on the Hammurabi Code, but that's beside the point. According to the Hammurabi Code, if a woman
I feel like I'm gonna
killed
go
her
upside
husband
down.
I'm looking at Mary. I'm looking at Mary.
for the why are you looking at Mary? If a
Mary.
Hint.
if a woman kills her husband in favor of replacing him with another man, and got caught, she could be or would be impaled.
Hold on, real quick. What about if it was the other way around?
That's not
am I
the law said nothing about the husband. Yeah, I know.
Of course. It's typical.
Don't get me started. I already went on that whole rant with somebody this week. Then we were talking about something completely different, and I'm not going to get into it because it gets into politics. But anyway,
Whoa. What we're not getting into? What? I missed it. What?
we got into women being property and second-class humans because of the way that the rights were
moving on.
given.
Yeah, well, you expect from the dumb ages back then.
Yeah,
I am so
we're
glad
getting
I
ready to go
wasn't
back into
born
them.
back then. I would have gotten myself killed. I would have just.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that. Oh, there was a TikTok song going around. It's just like I was born back in those ages or whatever. I would be burned at the stake the second I opened my mouth.
Right? Same.
The second I opened my mouth and be like,
I'm too opinionated. I can't. Oh my God, no.
Yeah.
And I feel bad enough for people having to listen to me now. Back then, oh God.
My parents alone would actually be offensive to them. Just me being myself in general would be very offensive. It really would.
Yeah.
Same.
So, I'm sorry, I looked at chat and I got distracted.
I'm getting distracted all day today because I am not awake right now. I'm so
well, you're the most fun that way.
There were kings there was a king that we talked about that went around and he did all this thing to this one little village. He burned them and he staked them and he cut their heads off and put their warriors' heads all around the wall of this place and everything. And he was very proud of the fact that he impaled all the men, and I'm just like, dude.
And then he realized the mistake he made because now all the women want him and he thought it was a good idea, but all the women are just like, oh my God, I'm so needy, and he's just like, God, guys, get off of me, I'm so sick and tired of this bullshit. I mean, this is too much maintenance, I'm done.
Well, who knows, he could have done them a service.
I guess that's why he piled them all with the children in a heap and burned them to death. Yeah, patches on TikTok. Let's make that a thing.
Yeah.
So I did find a possible contender for a puppet to be Patches. I'm gonna let you guys.
Ooh,
yeah.
That's fun.
Can I is it okay if I derail this conversation?
Yeah,
Am I allowed to derail things?
Yeah.
Do you want to see a picture?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please put it on display.
Snowman.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Do you want to build a picture of Patches on the wall?
Oh my God, how do I? Okay, guys, bear with me.
Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't a joke.
Nice pun.
I was
Nice pun.
It was an Ursa Major joke.
Oh, nice. Except I think Patches is more of an Ursa Minor because he's little.
No, never minor. No. Always major. Always major.
I'm the Ursa Major too. Patches.
Okay. Can you guys see this? Look at this.
Oh.
I want to see. I gotta see. I can't see it.
Oh, that is perfect.
Right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
This is the only place I can find it.
Show it.
This is the only place I can find this thing.
Look at that booty hole.
Like
that's a big booty hole.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we need to get some. Oh,
censor that, hole. YouTube. Okay.
And that kind of reminds me of the SCP that are teddy bears. But anyway.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Speaking of which, I've done that recently. I have the SCP-1048, if I remember seeing it.
I think that's right.
It's on my channel. If you like, I can put that one on there. It's very scary. Very disturbing.
Are we all in agreement that's what I thought too. I'm just looking at the price, so I'm thinking
I'm thinking we need to do a tally and we need to raise some money. I think
let's raise some money to get the TikTok bear, and then let's So this would be Patches. So that's what I'm thinking we can do, which would be awesome, and then I can have Patches on here as well, with my camera on. Here. So
Hi,
Patches you gotta have your own screen and everything for Patches though.
Oh
yeah. I mean, I don't have to be on camera at all. I could just have Patches on camera.
No, you will be on camera. And
I mean, I think you've already just said it. You just said it right now. I don't have to be
I just wanted to see you squirm.
We have new guests here. We have Pam Smith. And the owner, Pat. Hello, welcome.
Okay, so getting away from Patches,
Oh,
Or
speaking
maybe
of which, with
not.
this cat, he's actually my co-writer for the story Holy Sheet.
Aha, yes. We've been getting
Please
sneak
check
peeks.
out his channel. He is awesome.
Okay,
Mhm.
so this might actually go into the Patches Skinned.
Oh.
Skinned Alive.
Oh, whoa, oh.
Oh God! Oh, I forgot what topic we were on. And then
Oh,
all of a sudden
yeah.
you brought me back.
So Skinning Alive is used for two things: torture and death.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually, if you have correct and proper medical treatment, you can survive being skinned alive. People did do it.
I'm kind of attached to it.
Skin does a lot of things. Skin does a lot of things other than just protecting your body. Let me just say that.
Yeah,
Okay,
you can say like, "Hey, your epidermis is not showing."
Yeah, you're showing too much of your epidermis. Be safe, PM.
Be safe.
Hi.
So
excuse me.
There's a whole, yeah, really. Duh. There's a really in-depth method to skinning someone alive.
Okay, the first one that you're going to mention is the one that makes me cringe, because who here has not ever experienced a sunburn? Okay, maybe some goths, but I'm just saying, you put a goth out there, they would fry, and they'd be like, "Oh my God."
I know that pain all too well.
People so that they're left out in the sun, and their skin is loosened. They dehydrate enough that their skin is loosened. You know, starvation's another way that they could do that, is because when you lose weight from a quick loss of weight due to lack of food, can cause you to have a very loose skin and very I'm not sure what that is, Sock Goblin. I'm going to have to do some research on that. So that
I got too much fat. I'm good.
Any way that you would get the skin loosened. Another way that they would put people in a bath of boiling water for a little bit of time, long enough to loosen the skin and allow them. They had certain points on the body that had to be loosened so that they could insert. Yes, they researched where to put. Yes, we do not condone any of this.
No, we don't.
Do not try this at home.
Yes.
Yeah, do not try this at home. But they
really disagree with it.
Where the best places to start skinning a person was, and that was something else that was like they actually researched this crap. What? But yeah, and they would also research it where it was the most painful for the person being, or less painful, because some of them, if it was to cause pain, they would slice along the nerve receptors of the body. If it was just to get the skin off, they would stay away from the nerve receptors. The goal in it was to get the largest pieces of skin possible.
I got goosebumps when you said it like that. Oh my God.
Oh, it makes me hungry for jerky.
No, Dave.
Because one of the things, and it's not necessarily the way you die or the way you get skinned, is what they did with your skin afterwards. And one of them was taking your skin and hanging it on the door of another enemy to warn them, if they don't straighten up, this is what's going to happen to them.
I mean, I feel like that's how I would threaten somebody.
Here's my pants. Like literally, here's my pants. You want to know what I do with that third pocket? No, I'm not going to tell you what I do with that third pocket.
You ain't gonna know.
That's not for the stopwatch.
And another. How about we just leave my skin on? Yeah, I agree here. Another thing that they would do is they would, and this kind of has an Ed Gein type of thing, and it gives me the willies. In some cultures, they would sew it together as ceremonial garb for a priest to do ceremonies for the deities. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you the deities were even cringing a little bit, like, "Oh God, not him again! Oh, jeez, just
really."
Yo, take it off. We're good.
But
We're
the
good.
thing is, at
Like
this
you
time,
again, I asked for just tacos, not this.
so
wanted to roast.
another thing that they, and I believe it was 84 was the total number that still exists that they have found. 84 books were bound with human skin. This that we know of. Bookbinding
out
was
there.
best done with leather, and leather can be made out of human skin.
Yeah.
Yep. they can.
However, if you don't die from the process,
Yes.
You will heal,
you will heal, and the skin
and we can do it all
will
over again.
regenerate itself.
And we do it again. We do
But-
it again and again and again.
And
There's
And again.
actually Dr. Dexy, and that's not his channel's name. I can't remember the channel's name. Dr. Zexy has a series. It's two sides of the same story. It's told from her side and it's told from his side, like we were talking about earlier, Bathsheba.
Mhm. Oh, I wasn't listening. What? Oh, okay. No, I'm
shame
Uh,
on you.
It started with Edith, who is the female side, and that's where you get the skinning, and she's being repeatedly skinned and healed by these creatures that have captured her.
Mhm.
And then you get the other side, which is his side, which you go from when they're children and they're just, or well, they're not really children, they're young adults, and they're enjoying each other's company and talking about dating and so forth. And then you go to where he's a general in the military, and he's been searching for her from the time when she disappears. So it's a really interesting story, and I really enjoyed it. But there's three ways. Well, there's probably more than three. There's three main ways that you can die from skinning alive. First of all, even though they're not going deep enough to affect your blood vessels or your vein arteries, you will.
Let me make it cringe harder. Paper cut.
Yeah.
Lemon juice. Lemon juice.
Yes.
In between your fingers. Oh God.
Yeah.
A little, like,
In between your
oh.
toes.
Right in the nail. Right by the
Between your
nail when you
toes.
get
Ow,
it
ow,
sliced.
ow, that hurts.
Nope.
Can you imagine?
You
We're such
will
babies.
lose blood from your muscles,
Mhm.
which are exposed because they don't have a covering to protect them. And you will, we're going back to the scene in the original Hellraiser where he didn't have his skin yet, and he was.
Ooh, yeah.
You remember that?
Mhm.
It was using the bandages, and they were getting all bloody and everything. Yeah.
There's a particular scene from Dagon I have to put in. It's an old obscure film. It's about 20 years old, and it's based on H.P. Lovecraft's work. And there's this particular part where they were skinning this guy alive, because first of all they would make incisions on the sides of his face and actually rip it out, hair and all, and just remove it like it's just a suit. Yeah, I've seen that scene. Oh, it reminded me of that. If you can find it, people, I recommend Dagon to everybody, especially during the summertime, because it shows on an island and it's all around the ocean, so it's perfect. A little summertime terror.
Yeah. Now, if you're going to die of blood loss from skinning alive, it's going to be a very slow and very, I don't know if it would be painful, because you'd have to think that the nerves at that point are kind of either deadened or they
Not necessarily. I don't think so.
No, you'd probably be throbbing, full of pain.
Yeah. So, but it's going to be a slow death from blood loss. There's two main reasons we have skin.
Yeah.
One of which is to keep us from getting infections and being susceptible to being eaten by bugs and microbes. And without your skin, this is the next thing that's going to kill you, is that you get an infection, or bugs and microbes are going to eat you. So, like, we go back to that, we have to have proper medical care if we're going to survive this. That means you have to be in a vacuum where you're completely safe from bugs, microbes, and infections.
How do you breathe? Give me a mask. You can't put the mask on because it'll rip your face. You'd be one giant scab.
I know, but in my head, I'm thinking of Boy in the Bubble.
Yes, I remember that one.
Okay.
Bubble Boy. The Bubble Boy one.
That's what comes in my head, and instead you've got Frank from Hellraiser in the bubble instead of John Travolta. What a change. So, and the third way, and which is another thing that people don't give skin enough credit here, guys.
No.
Skin keeps you from freezing to death. It's not working very well for me right now, but skin keeps you from freezing to death.
Yeah, it's actually the largest organ in your body.
It is.
Thermal regulator.
Yeah.
It seals everything in, protects all your organs.
And it is
Keeps
an organ. It is an organ.
Holds in moisture.
That whole thing is, they said that they were going to take an organ, and I didn't realize it was going to be my skin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hypothermia could take up to a month to 2 months to kill you this way, but it can kill you.
Hi, Mark Webster from the UK. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
UK in the house.
Hi, Marky.
Marky Mark.
And
What?
again,
Marky Mark.
Mark Webster. No, I thought he was the guy with the Webster's Dictionary.
Oh, so smart.
Oh, look him up.
Sorry, Mark. That was just, yeah. You've probably heard
Anything
that
to
your
get off
whole
the
life.
subject.
But yeah, that's skinning alive, and that wasn't just done for torture and death. That was also done when you would see people do human sacrifices, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
What is it? Hi.
I thought we were going to go to freak
Scalping.
MRI. Scalping.
No. Scalping.
Scalping.
Because
Scalping. If you were like I was, you were brought up when watching cowboy and Indian movies, where scalping always ended in the victim being killed. No, it did not.
No.
And scalping didn't start at the hairline. Scalping started at the eye line.
Yeah, it did.
And
that little flappy there, you see that little flap? Let me get closer here. You see that little flappy right there? The little flappy right there?
The thing is, it was easier to start there than it was at the hairline because you've already got a way in.
Yes.
Plus,
yeah.
After they scalped you, if they really wanted to, they could have buried you alive up to your head and then left you scalped in the middle of the Mojave Desert, just waiting for the sun to beat down you all day. Can't close your eyes, can't blink, can't do nothing. Well, it ain't going to get you.
And then you got the coyotes and the ants and the
spiders
mice and what the fuck is in New Orleans?
Oh, don't forget the snakes and the Gila monsters.
Oh, speaking of snakes, I don't think this is actually on here.
I do like snakes though.
But we do. I did tell this story. I don't think Mary heard it, but I did tell this story to Dame and Bathsheba. I don't know if it's a true story, so don't quote me on this, but I did hear
it's probably totally true. Everything on the internet's true, people. I mean, come on.
I mean, it has to be.
I did hear a story about a prisoner in prison who in the prison yard found a nest of baby rattlesnakes.
Aww.
Cute.
And
they're just as deadly as little as they are big, just saying.
Yeah, they are. And apparently these were not babies. They were probably somewhere in the adolescent stage.
Oh, so
they were rowdy teenagers, teenage snakes.
He put twine around their mouths to keep them from biting him.
Oh God! Okay, I
Oh.
gotta set my phone down. I don't know if I can listen to this again.
And then he put them up his butthole.
Ah!
No!
Ah!
I don't care. The snake is a predator. You don't do that to an innocent animal.
Oh my
Well,
god.
Leave the snake alone.
he put not just
Okay.
one, but he put two up his butthole.
Disclaimer, people. Disclaimer.
Oh.
Do not stick things that don't belong up your ass.
Especially
Please.
living
Don't.
creatures, please.
Oh god.
Leave them alone.
Okay, so they come. Everybody comes
Leave
in
those
from being
scaly
out in the
babies
yard.
alone.
Everybody comes. A rattling animal. Everybody comes in from the
I don't
yard.
know
and
how
everything.
they got there,
Yeah.
Doc. All I was standing out there, and all of a sudden I was standing there naked, and I fell
Yeah.
over, and I landed
Yeah.
on top of this snake, and it was just like, and it just went up there. I couldn't do anything about it.
You know what? It just made me think of like what if this person were to have like an OnlyFans thing? He did the snakes for everybody to see, and then he starts twerking, and then while he's twerking, it starts rattling at the same time.
No.
Oh god.
But
Oh, god.
he gets back to
Hey,
his
think about it. He
I
has
can't.
his
I
own
can't.
soundtrack by having a rattling.
So he gets back inside and he falls over and he's out. And they take him into the infirmary or the death mortuary, whatever you want to call it, the death infirmary. And they're trying to figure out what killed him because he's dead.
I wonder.
And so, there's nothing, there's no bruises, so he didn't get beat up. There's nothing that, there's no injuries that they can see, so he didn't get stabbed or anything like that. There's no, the tox screen immediately that they can do real quick doesn't show any kind of known poisons that they can test for that quick. But, they send out for a better tox screen. They're inspecting the body and they keep inspecting. They start hearing this noise, this rattling noise. And they supposed to be coming from underneath him. So they turn him over. And that's when they find the rattle of the rattlesnake sticking out his ass.
Oh God!
I know.
They pull out the first one. The first one still got the twine around his, or it probably was the second one going in. But
I know.
they pulled out the first one and it still got the twine around his mouth. So obviously it didn't do any damage. Although, why would you put a snake up your ass is the question.
So I'm seeing like the
guys,
medical students and examiners
guys.
are all standing around looking at this guy and they're just like, dude just slurped it up like spaghetti. I swear to God.
Guys, I'm not one to kink shame, but do not put live animals
That's
inside of your body. Like,
Please,
Yeah.
just at least
Like-
have it be inanimate objects.
only inanimate objects, and make sure it's not something that's going to fucking hurt you.
Like
Like anything glass, it's probably not a good idea.
No
Like
plate.
a hollow glass,
Yeah.
like a light bulb. Don't fucking do it, guys. Don't fucking
Please
do it.
don't. Please
For the love
don't.
of God,
At least,
don't fucking do it.
please, at least have some plastic. It's the most
Yeah.
safest way you think you can
They're
use.
thinking maybe he
Speaking of a story, you ever listen to those Reddit stories when they go to like the ER stories about
Yeah.
all the people who they found things going up their butt? It's this guy.
Humans are crazy dumb. Yeah.
Yeah.
They are.
But they figured that he was probably trying to smuggle them in so he could put them in some prison enemy's cell and get rid
What
of
if
them.
he just wanted pets? I mean, I would
I
just want a
don't.
pet.
Yeah.
But again, I wouldn't be smuggling it in my
I
bum.
guess it's a different kind of pet that he wanted.
Oh no, he wanted a butt buddy. Clearly,
Yeah.
clearly there was no need for a butt buddy. Guys, never get that desperate. Come on.
Yes. Oh, the snakes never say no.
He's still,
They said no.
they're going, well, this snake couldn't have done any damage to him because it can't bite him. It can't, there's no way for him to do damage. So they put him under a fluoroscope, or an MRI machine. I don't remember which. those are machines that you can actually see the soft tissue in the body. They're not x-rays, only show bones for the most part, and metal and so forth. These are things that show other things that are in the body that were soft tissue and so forth. And what they find is the other snake is in his large intestines. The twine came off of the mouth of this other snake, and this other snake had started biting. He had over 100 internal bites, venomous bites from this other rattlesnake. And yeah, because remember, your ass goes into your large intestines.
Something to keep in mind, people.
It goes into your colon, which is another reason why you don't put nothing up your ass, because your colon, you can irritate it.
I mean, put nothing up your ass. Don't put anything up your ass.
Okay, may I mind you, look at the construction of a pit viper, number one. Okay. They have the pits, the heat pits, you know, they can sense heat signatures, and they breathe through tasting through their tongue.
Yes.
Oh.
Just think about that for a second there.
That's just cool.
Think about that. Just think about that for a second there. That's disgusting.
You've restricted this animal's, you know, anyway. So yeah, that's the reason why we don't do, and that goes into being eaten alive by animals, because even though the snake didn't eat him, poor snake.
Still, poor snakes.
He had to go up his ass and through the colon and into the large intestines. This is not a good day.
Babies alone. What have they ever done to you?
It makes me think of the guy that said, "Leave Brittany alone. Leave the scaly babies alone." Chris Crawford, I think it was.
Leave the scaly babies alone.
So, you know, we talk about medical procedures and things like that. Hi, Tank.
Mr. Tank.
We're going to go to freak MRI accidents.
Oh no.
Oh God.
I'm not going to get into the whole thing about the little boy, but what I am going to say is oxygen tanks and other large metal gas tanks of such forth have been removed from all MRI rooms.
Oh God.
Because of a 6-year-old boy who had a metal oxygen tank accident with an MRI.
Oh, no. Oh God.
The funniest one of these stories, now there was a story about, you know, a orderly, good grief, orderlies get the worst jobs, I swear. Orderly who was bringing an oxygen tank in and the MRI machine sucked it in. Remember, MRIs aren't turned off.
It did not get sucked up his butt, so don't even get off that subject, people.
Moving
on.
Let's go. It broke the tip, which opened the oxygen tank to fill the room. Now, he's already closed the door. He is stuck in that room with the filling of the oxygen from the oxygen tank. Did you know you could die from excess oxygen? Yes, you can. I can't breathe out because there's so much oxygen. There's another case where an orderly was taking an oxygen. This is why they don't do metal oxygen tanks and oxygen anymore in MRI rooms anymore. Orderly was bringing an oxygen tank into an MRI room and was caught between the MRI entry hole and the oxygen tank, where it was trying to suck through his body and into the MRI machine. I think the funniest story on this one was the cop who wore his sidearm into the MRI room. Remember guns?
Okay, that was stupid.
Guns are metal, right? Right? Everybody? Guns are metal. It went to the MRI machine and stuck on the MRI machine. And not only that, it started firing.
Oh. God.
Yep.
Yeah. So you've got the cop and the medical attendants, including the doctors and nurses, are ducking to try to keep from getting shot by a wild gunfire by the MRI machine. And they said it was
when the MRI machine strikes back.
Yes.
Will you be
Yes.
safe?
This is some Skynet things, people.
Yeah, this is things you don't yeah. It just MRI has been.
Yes,
They had
it
to
does.
actually turn the machine off once it stopped firing, and wait. I think it was 3 to 5 hours for the magnetic resonance of the MRI machine, because all an MRI machine is a big, huge magnet, and so that it would release the gun because the magnetics had let go of it. Hello, Boggs, the official.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi,
Boggs.
Boggs.
So yeah, that's why they tell you when you go into for an MRI, let them know if you have metal in your body at any point. My father has a pin in the bone in his upper thigh on one of his
Wouldn't want
legs.
that stuff going like straight through your.
Yeah, he can't have an MRI. I actually, for my last MRI, I went in and I could not get my earrings out. I was really worried about it, and the MRI guy says there's not enough. First of all, that's gold; it's not magnetic. Secondly, because they are real gold earrings, and secondly, they're small enough that they won't cause a problem.
I've always taken mine out because I just feel way too weird. But like I just said in chat, my tongue is like my piercing in my tongue is plastic because every time I have to take it out, I feel like I'm going to swallow my tongue. So that's how I avoid having to do that.
I don't have any, so I guess I'm clear.
I have always taken my earrings out before, but I could not get them to come apart so that I could take them out.
Death by nose ring.
Now that's scary.
Just sucked it right up in there.
So we're going to go to the next one, which is actually, people, this has been done all over the world. It's not just in South America. It's not just in the American continents. It's been all over the world. Human sacrifice.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
Oh, yes, in every culture. Every culture is guilty of it.
You can't,
It really is.
You can't get away from it. There's the typical, we're going to stab you and take your heart out. Sometimes that's not as
Pleasant.
straightforward as that sounds.
Yeah, you're alive for the whole thing. Yeah, the whole heart, the heart beating and everything when they pull it out. That's totally possible.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with MRIs. It's actually a little bit more room than you would have in a coffin, so it's fine with me.
You know what my problem
I'm okay
is?
with them.
I have done the MRIs, I've done CT scans and all that stuff, and the one thing that I always, because it's psychosomatic, because the moment they say don't move, I'm like, every bit of my body is just like, I have to scratch my nose right now, I'm gonna sneeze.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I've got this knot going in it, and I'm just
Yes.
like, oh my god, it's like
And Mary says she's fallen asleep in Minnie.
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah, because usually when I get MRIs done, I don't know, because of my sleep disorder, I always fall asleep in them. And I was told one of the women, the nurses there, was just like, I don't know if I've actually ever had anybody fall asleep in one of them. I was like, yeah, that's why I'm here.
It's easy for them, but I have to say, but I try to meditate and let my mind wander elsewhere whenever I do.
Normally, I gotta beat them to it. I say, okay, don't tell me to stay still, because the moment I hear it come out of your mouth, I'm not gonna stay still. So I'm gonna tell you, I will stay still. Just
defeats the purpose.
Do not tell me to stay still.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay. And I'm just like, okay, thank you. And then I'm good.
Yeah,
then they forget.
And then they tell you anyways.
Yeah. And I'm just like,
okay, stay still. Great.
I've never done the open MRI. I'm interested in how that goes. Yeah, the attendant keeps asking me like every 3 minutes, are you okay in there, or are you
what if you say no? It's like, no.
I don't know.
You're like,
It's
Yeah,
just
I
like,
could use a martini right about now. Why don't you?
I
Actually,
need to
my
use the
first
bathroom.
my first reaction is, yeah, about as good as you can be. What the fuck?
That's a silly question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Boggs, that's a very good point, but we're not going to get into that. There's also what I call the sinkhole room. This was a form of human sacrifice where they actually dug a hole and made a room where you had everything you needed except food and drink. Had a bed, well, sort of. You had light and everything, but you didn't have anything to eat or drink. Basically, you died of dehydration, which typically takes 3 days, people. 3 days.
Wait. What takes 3 days?
Dehydration.
Oh.
Dehydration.
Now, there are people who have survived longer. There are people who have died in shorter time periods from dehydration. But typically, it is dehydration. It takes 3 days.
For human sacrifice? What did we jump to now?
We're still on human
Yeah.
sacrifice. Burial, where they either bury you in a cloth wrapping or they bury you in a box. That can be a form of human sacrifice in the past. We talked about skinning. We will talk about burning. There's also, and I think they called it the Morning Star, where they put you up basically on what is essentially a tanning rack while you're alive. They tie you up there. This was done, I can't remember who it was by, but this was done by a tribe, I believe. And then they danced around you and made mean remarks to you or whatever. This was last done in 1836. And then when they finish that ritual, they start beating you with clubs.
Good God.
Yeah.
And they shoot you up with arrows. The first one going through a barbed arrow through your heart.
Which I suppose that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to die right away from doing that. You're going to have to probably bleed out first. I don't know.
Yeah,
What the shock at that point?
Shock might get you first, just like
Yes, it would.
But
skin
not
Probably
all
numb the
people.
pain a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then we go to some of the worst ways, according to science, which includes being eaten alive.
I mean, yeah.
Yes, it does.
Death by giraffe.
Oh.
Yes.
What?
Death by giraffe. We talked about this like I don't know, about a year ago, wasn't it? Yeah, we're bringing it back.
Really?
Death by giraffe.
I don't even remember that. Oh my god.
Oh, I vividly remember this because actually, the visual.
There might be a
alone, I'm
reason
just
I
like,
don't remember it. There's got to be a reason.
There's lots of ways that you can be eaten alive. I believe Dezombified said death by shark. I think sharks, they bite you in the right place, you'll be dead so fast you'll barely know you're dead.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
and
bleed out.
Even home
Bleed
without
out.
doing that.
That goes along with a lot of predators have ways of killing their
Like lions,
They-
for example.
like
Help me.
for killing their
Oh.
prey in a way that it will lessen the pain of the kill because it's a quicker death because of sharper teeth or something that they inject in your skin, or it depends on the animal, but
Problem is though, getting injected by some kind of a toxin, like it's a hemotoxin or a neurotoxin, depending on which one you get. It still takes time for that to work because number one,
Yes.
that particular type of venom is not meant for humans. It's not meant for humans. You will not die right away necessarily from that. You're going to suffer some.
It's
Maybe
like
it will kill you eventually, but I'm just saying.
death by patches.
Yeah, for
Just
real.
by shot goblin. It's like with it, and I can speak of these two because I know them very well. That sounded bad.
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah,
What do you do in your spare time?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, what do you know?
Brown recluse has a necrotic venom, which basically means what it does is when the bite goes in, the venom starts eating the tissue around it.
It starts killing the tissue around it.
That's
Killing and
wonderful.
eating. Just like with flesh-eating bacteria, as it will dig into it kills the skin around it as it moves through it. It kills the muscle. It kills all the tissue and everything. And I've seen this horrible picture. I don't even know why they even showed it to us, but this horrible picture of this little boy who got bit in the knee, and from the knee down to like just above his ankle, you could see the bone because of the dead skin and everything had just fallen away from the necrotic toxin. The other, the Black Widow.
Oh, I nearly got bit by a Black Widow. That scared the
My grandfather did. My grandfather did.
Venom is dead. Don't let anybody tell you they're not. They are deadly to humans.
Yes, but my grandfather didn't die. He just went crazy for a bloody week.
Well,
like, I'm surprised that somebody didn't kill him from the way he was acting. But
again, it depends on how much you get into you as well.
True.
But yeah, the Black Widow is a different type of toxin, venom, whatever you want to call it.
It's a neurotoxin.
It's a neurotoxin. It kills your. That's probably why he went crazy, is because it kills the nerves, or it affects the nerves so that they're deadened. They don't feel pain, and it also affects the nervous system once it gets into that far. So
it's the brain.
But it can kill you.
I would think hemotoxins would be one of the worst ways, because that's just a total destroying of the whole, the blood, red blood cells. It just, everything falls apart. You just fall apart.
As far as tarantulas are not deadly to humans. However, they can make you sick enough that you wish you were dead.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the bigger spiders that because they eat dead. Well, they don't eat dead stuff. Well, they obviously do because obviously they kill it. But their mandibles carry a lot of bacteria, and that's what
it does.
You get that bacterial infection from it.
And let's get this straight.
But they do like being petted, though.
Spiders do not typically eat anything. They do not eat the skin. They do not eat the muscle. They do not eat the bone. They do not eat anything.
Slurp you. That's what they do. They
slurp.
Their venom turns your insides into juice.
Yeah, and therefore they suck you out.
Shake, and then they suck you out.
Yeah.
They're actually insect vampires if you think about it.
They leave a shell. That's why when you find a spider's web and there's a lot of these little cocoon things, those are dinners or breakfast.
I thought of something else that eats you. It actually digests you.
Oh God.
If it bites you and you die, it's venomous. If you bite it and you die, it's poisonous. If you bite others and nothing dies, it's kinky.
Truth.
Right.
Yeah.
That's goblin. Yeah.
Every single time you eat pineapple or drink pineapple juice, the pineapple actually will retort back and will try to digest you. What do you think that tingling that you feel in the mouth when you actually drink pineapple?
I love it.
I love that tingling.
It's actually trying to digest you. It's a mechanism. It's a defense mechanism of the pineapple. Yes. It's like, yo, dude, don't eat me. Oh well, shit. I'm too late.
Well, you should eat it first before it does.
Pound per pound, the human mouth is more lethal. This is true. The worst bite you can get is a human bite.
This is true too. It is true.
However, in 2020, and this is an extreme case of child abuse and neglect, a toddler was found with so many ant bites where the ants were actually tearing off skin and muscle.
God.
That the baby died. So yes.
Okay, I've been attacked by fire ants before. And yeah, that's more or less like a this,
I've
what do
been
they
bitten by a
use?
lot of ants too before. It really
Okay,
hurts.
First time in Texas. Yeah, it was brilliant. I went out to go look at something. And, oh, look at the pretty trees alongside the car. I stepped like right on a fire ant mound. So they all started crawling up my legs. They got into my pants and everything. And they all waited. Then the one let off the chemical signal, and then they all stung at me at once. And I about peed myself because it was one of the most painful things that I've ever experienced, having so many ants biting me all at the same time.
Hey, can I share my cure for if you ever do get bitten by a lot of ants? There's actually a way you can overcome it.
Oh, what?
No, instead what you can do is you can actually get
blowtorch.
No. Instead, what you can do to recover from ant bites, especially if they itch severely, is take a peppermint bath.
Yeah.
Oh,
get some peppermint tea and put it in your bath water, or if you have a shower, you can actually dip your sponge into the peppermint tea and then put it on there.
Does that work with mosquito bites?
Yes, it does. Any kind of itch. Any kind of itch, it'll do it.
We use a meat tenderizer paste on mosquito bites, where you'd make a paste with meat tenderizer and water, put it over the mosquito bite and let it dry. What it does is it draws out the poison, which causes the itching.
Soda bicarbonate does that.
Yeah.
I have this stuff called green goo that I use for insect bites, and it's been fucking wonderful because I always get bit by mosquitoes. Always. They're like drawn to me. If I'm around you, you probably don't have to worry about being bit because they'll just go and eat me. I don't know why. Well,
that's because you're so sweet, Mary.
Yeah, that must be why.
They mistake you for candy and they want to eat the house.
Okay, and so this is one that I found that was very sad, and another statement on our situation in the world. In 2015, in a nursing home, a beauty queen died from being eaten by mites. They said that she could have been eaten for up to at least 6 months. Some of the attendants were actually told, do not try to pick up her arms or her hands because they will fall off. Okay, if you know you've got a patient with this type of thing happening, what the hell is going on that you're not trying to see what's happening that's causing this problem?
Yeah, that's negligence on their part.
Never pee on jellyfish stings. No, don't pee on them.
Please don't. Don't pee on anybody, please.
No, if you get,
unless it's for consent.
The best way to get a tongue off of a metal ice is pee, but that's beside the point.
Well, I think it's the heat that's there.
It is.
I think it has to do with the sodium. I think it's the sodium or the urea itself that neutralizes. It helps to neutralize.
It neutralizes the ice and releases you. So then Sheba and I had this discussion about
anybody pees on my tongue, I'll murder you. Just saying. Okay, go ahead.
Stop sucking on jellyfish, Mary, and we won't have to do that.
No, I won't. Look. If somehow my tongue gets stuck to like a frozen pole or something, give me my phone and let me research what's gonna get my tongue off before you fucking pee on me, because I will murder you. Just saying.
Instead we could just get you some hot bacon. I think that would help better.
That would work.
Somebody gave us a sign of approval. We're all going to live. So first of all, Giles Corey, who we talked about last week, was basically compression by stone.
That would fall under positional. I would think. Well, no, that's compression. You're right.
It's compression because his whole
compression
body
is asphyxiation.
Compression asphyxiation.
Thank you.
It is.
That's what I was trying to say. I can't say that word. Why?
So there's another thing, and you see this in a lot of our deep sea construction workers, and there's two ways that they do that. You guys can look this up. We're not going to get into how they get down and live down there, or how they get down and they come back up and they decompress and all that. We're not going to get into that. What we're going to get into is deep sea compression causing death. And basically, you know, this is where your
It's not
eyes
pretty.
bulge out and
No.
but because they're still technically connected to everything, they're just not in the eye socket. You can see everything that's happening to you.
There might be bouncing around on your cheeks or whatever, you know. Oh God, I just lost my cord.
And then we go into space exposure, which brings
Oh
up
yes, you get the same effect.
you get the same effect, but you also, while you're being compressed by the fact that you're in the vacuum of space, you're also freezing your ass off, so you're dying of hypothermia.
Yep.
Being burned and frozen at the same exact time.
That time, yeah.
But then again, if you're spinning, does that mean that you just like hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold really fast? And
Yeah.
it's like, wow.
I mean, think of icy hot and putting it on certain areas.
I am not even going to think about that right now. Thank you. I'm now squirming.
Dame is why we can't have nice things, everyone. This is what's happening
Yes.
right now.
Hey, I'm diabolical for a reason, you know.
My, let's say, burning at the stake. Now, burning at the stake or being burned in any other way. The nice thing about being burned.
The nice thing.
The nice thing
is after a certain point, the nerves are dead.
Okay, well, that's good.
Most people, if they are not killed in some other way, will die of smoke inhalation long before they burn to death. And this goes for slow burn, like if you're in a car and the car's on fire, you're going to die of smoke inhalation before you die of the flames of the fire. And a lot of times, if somebody was being burned to death, the executioner would help them along with a packet of gunpowder around their neck, or
gunpowder around your neck,
strangling them while they're tying them up. There's a couple of other ways that they would help them along before the fire was ever even set. And then if you actually are,
oh God, you're on fire here. Let me put the fire out. All I have is lemon juice. Oh!
Oh, don't forget the salt. Don't forget the salt.
It's just like, stop trying to help me. I'd rather die. No.
Right.
Yeah. There's
this is free barbecue.
There are very few people that actually suffered much through being burned to death because of the fact that your nerves are going to burn off and die before you actually die.
Oh, good. That's all I would hope for.
That's why burning to death is number 3 on my list, guys. Decapitation, I want to do real quick before we go to radiation.
I have something to add to decapitation before you start. There's a nice creepy little factoid about Celtic culture as far as beheadings are concerned. Since they're like back then when they had warring tribes and fighting over territories. What it is that they would pray to the Morrigan, the great war goddess, and to appease this goddess, she demands the heads of your enemy. So what you have to do is that as soon as you defeat your enemy, you have to behead them and then
collect them,
put them on display as a trophy to her, and that's how you appease this really terrible goddess.
And that takes us back to impalement, because they were impaling the heads on stakes around the castle.
What about the blood eagle?
Yeah.
Yes.
Blood eagle.
Yeah, they call them the Morrigan's Acon, or Acron crop.
Or the drawn and quartering. But all of these, it really depended on the way the executioner did it.
Who was it that had to be chased around the chopping block back in the Tower of London because she was terrified, and it took like I don't know how many times they had to like chop her head.
Remember,
but it didn't
I know
work,
the one you're talking about.
Yeah, it wasn't Marie Antoinette.
No, the Marie Antoinette was in the guillotine, and that's in France.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Anne Boleyn requested a
There you
French
go.
swordsman
Mhm.
because she wanted to go quickly. So she put her head down, and the swordsman was very good. His sword was sharp, and he only took one swing. However, there were others that didn't go as quickly.
Yeah.
Whatever the implement being used was not as sharp as it should have been, and
I've seen that chopping block. I've seen
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I saw the executioner's axe
the
too. I've been to the
guillotine-
tower.
The guillotine was a great invention as far as this is concerned, because for the most part it was one slice. However, again, it was not necessarily always 100%. There were
You
some
know why
problems
it
with
was?
it.
Do you know why it was not 100% all the time? Think of it this way: each time that they would take the guillotine, and it would take them all night. They would build the guillotine. It'd be ready for the next day. They would do their executions or whatever, and then they would take it down. The next time they would do it, they would build it up again. So they were constantly rebuilding this guillotine. So I can imagine.
The blade is getting dull here.
Yep.
So hope that you're the first on the list, and hope that would be not like, oh God, because I've had I've gone into piercing. Okay, this is totally not the same as the guillotine, but I went in to get my ears pierced, and they went to do my ear piercing, and the gun got jammed where it just pinched on my earlobe, and it was like halfway through, but it wouldn't go all the way through, and I'm just
that's it. I'm out of here.
Yeah, she's like, oh, let me try again. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm gone. I'm good. I did get it done again, but it took a while. But can you imagine? I mean, as painful as that was, and having the guillotine do the same thing, it only went halfway through because it got stuck.
No.
Oops.
And it did happen. Okay, so radiation. Okay, folks, when we go and get an x-ray, or most other medical procedures, we are talking about 0.02 rem of radiation. That is the, which is not a lot of radiation. Trust me.
That's very
good thing
tiny.
I ate all those lead pencils back in the day. Don't eat lead, people. That's stupid.
Please
don't eat lead.
Don't.
2,000 rem of radiation will get you sick. Just saying.
But it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there.
It doesn't stop there. It will get you sick. It can cause cancer. Radiation can cause cancer, which is not operable and not treatable by anything we have.
Yeah, because isn't radiation what we usually combat cancer with in the first place?
Yes. And this is the most extreme case, but and it makes me cry. This case really makes me cry. In Japan in 1999, Hisashi Osaka was damaged by a nuclear accident that happened at his work. He took 2 times the fatal amount of radiation and lived.
Oh God.
He had DNA damage to the point that he had no DNA anymore. And
so that means
body,
well, that's convenient, isn't it?
Well, the thing is, the body can't repair. It cannot repair itself.
It cannot repair itself. It cannot produce blood. It cannot do anything. His blood started turning into sludge. They started giving him transfusions. They tried to keep his skin on him by bandaging him. That didn't work. He begged them to stop the transfusions, and the doctors, knowing that this was a unique situation,
they kept going.
I'm being facetious here, guys.
Like, come on, all in the name of science, people. This is a worthy sacrifice.
They kept him alive and denied him his ask for death, and he lived for 83 days.
God.
Another sad part of this is that his pregnant wife was allowed to be in the room with him to say goodbye shortly before he died. And both she and the baby were exposed to the radiation levels, and both of them had health problems because of it.
Right. That's
this was not because of a nuclear reactor. problem. This was, they were doing an experiment, and he happened to be the one that got the blowback from the nuclear experiment they were doing. He was right there at the top of the aperture, and he got full blast of it. I think they said 85,000, not 100, 85,000 x-rays all at once.
God. Oh, God.
Yeah.
So that's my number one way that I don't want to die. Because basically your body starts destroying itself from the inside out.
Mm-hmm.
And to live 83 days in that kind of pain and anguish, and yeah, I think I would rather be skinned or impaled or even burned.
Oh my God. I don't want to have to choose. I just...
No, like I said before, it's all in the name of science. Is it really?
Is it really? Now, there are a lot of other ways that we looked up, like falling out of the sky on a, or being eaten by a bird, or heat stroke, or, mauled by bears, drowning.
Oh, jeez. I remember that guy that tried to make friends with the bears, and they end up mauling him, and I actually heard the footage. I heard the actual sound. Oh my God, I shuddered.
Or the poisoned by a blue-ringed octopus. Yeah, you can look it up. It's very sad. It's very it makes me cry. It makes me cry because you can actually hear his girlfriend scream for him to stop fighting and just let them kill him, and he's fighting them. And then to know the fact that not only did they kill him, they killed her too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that just it's horrible. Sea snails can poison you. You can be killed by bees. Too many bee stings.
Yes.
Or killed by pine cones or beaver. There's all sorts of things that can kill you.
Death by beaver.
Death by wasp is a lot worse than bees because they are relentless and they're hyper aggressive.
Yeah. But yeah, we got all these other ways that people could die, but these were the ones that were probably the worst ones that we could think of in our stuff. And
okay, here's another one. Okay, this is gonna really go over in the horror community. What about the whole voodoo you do with the zombification and the burial, and you are dead, but you're not dead, but you're still buried alive. People have been buried alive.
But here's what's wrong. Let's say that the guy putting the potion together gets it wrong, and instead of putting you in a death-like comatose state, you actually die. That would be pufferfish poison that they use is not a good way to die.
No. Imagine sushi chef. You have to be certified to be an actual sushi chef. I can't even say that. It's like chef, sushi chef.
One more time.
Sushi chef.
Sushi chef.
Sushi. Yes.
Or you can say sushi cook.
Yeah, that would have been easier. Yeah, I don't take the easy road.
You have to be.
And if you do it wrong,
to be able to do pufferfish, and
you have to sign a waiver when you go in to eat this food. Also, you have to sign a waiver because there is a possibility.
All to prove manhood. But we'll just stick to the sushi cookies.
But we got into the drawing and quartering and things like that. But these were a little bit more. People were hanged, drawn, and quartered. Can you imagine that?
Well, I wouldn't imagine that they would be alive for the whole thing. They had to have died at some point. I mean, both
hang you long enough to kill you.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for reminding me. You were supposed to make me feel better by thinking I was going to be dead before they got the rest of the shit going on. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry. And then they take you down from the hanging and they draw and quarter you. That's when you actually die. But
Yeah, the disembowelment, and then they
Yes.
they strap your arms and legs, and they go all different directions where you're just
Yeah.
basically pulled apart like a
By
little
horses.
gingerbread cookie.
breaking
But you
on the
keep-
rack.
That's sweet.
Yeah, you can still do that, but you can do that with cars.
You can still do it with horses. I mean, we still have.
Well, not
horses.
everybody has a horse, so you have to use what's available, right?
Right. Breaking on the rack is very similar to that.
Yes, it is actually. I've seen a rack. I've seen the actual rack. Oh my god, I saw so much stuff when I was at the Tower of London. It was phenomenal. But at the same time, seeing this stuff, and it's
Always
just
wanted
like,
to go to see that.
Yeah, the ones that you mentioned, torture with rats, really still get to me. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
No, and that goes into the pit and the pendulum as the
yes, it
torture with rats.
does. But there's
Yes.
also a notorious mob connection with, you remember the Iceman?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that guy. Ah.
The cave, one of his out in the desert, in the
Yeah.
cave, let loose, the hungry rats. They ate him to death.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That was also
Iron
a certain
Maiden.
type of. Yeah, you're right. The Iron Maiden. It was
Spikes were
meant-
just long enough to penetrate you or your organs so that it killed you slowly.
What about an oubliette? Now, if you were lucky, you would hit that metal spike in the middle and it would kill you right away.
Yeah.
Oh,
If
can I
the ball
mention the
did not-
singing bull? Can I mention
yes.
the singing bull one?
But yes.
Oh my gosh.
Ah,
This one is done torture by aristocratic style. What they would do is that if you really pissed off the aristocrats enough back in ancient Greek times, they found this they made this big giant bronze statue.
Bronze bull.
Bronze bull, and they would they haul it out, put you in there, light a fire underneath it so you get nice and heat up. You become a nice baked cookie in there, but you sing, pretty much you scream, and it comes out through the nose of the bull, and it seems like the bull is singing.
Mm-hmm.
So you're entertaining the aristocrats by making the bull sing for the whole entire crowd while you're being burned alive inside of it. Now that's
In
just
the belly of the bull.
sadistic. Yes.
No, thank you. No.
Good luck cleaning that thing out. Imagine the smell right when you open it and get
That
the
was
body out of it.
That was the next one I was going to bring up. Sob Goblin, the Pair of Anguish,
Oh,
which was placed inside the orifice of choice. You would put it into your own imagination, and then it was cranked open so that it expanded and ripped your internal organs.
oh
This
God,
torture
yes.
was reserved for those accused of witchcraft and homosexuality, and probably inspired future gynecologists. Just saying.
Oh, isn't that sad? Yeah, that's wow. Okay, forceps. No, forceps.
No, I'm thinking of the clamp that they used to. Yeah.
Let's look inside there and see what's going on in there.
Uh-huh. Believe it or not, the pillory and stocks were used as not only ways of punishment, but they could also be used as torture and death. Because again, if you're out in the sun and you aren't getting food and you aren't getting drink, you're
That's
dying
true.
of what? Starvation?
I know
Dehydration?
there's another one from the Spanish Inquisition that really got to me too. I think it's horse or the donkey.
Mhm.
I don't really remember what it is, but basically what they would do is that you're put onto this pillar like you're riding a horse.
Oh,
And it's pretty much a sharp edge, and it's pretty much practically a triangle.
the cradle. The cradle.
Yeah,
cradle
and
and the point.
And then what they would
stuck it
do
right
is,
there. They would suspend you on top. Well,
Yeah,
it's a different
but no,
version,
that's a whole different thing. What they would do
Oh.
is they would have you sit there on there, tie your arms together behind your back, have weights on your ankles,
Oh God.
and pretty much you split down the middle very
Yeah.
slowly.
Yeah.
Same
Yes,
thing
Sock
with
Goblin.
this
That is
other one.
exactly what the King of Midas, where the
Oh,
singing
God.
bull.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Puzzle's like
and-
deciding to get on my lap and knocked over my microphone.
So,
There's
and this isn't actually
chairs.
something people do to other people. This was something that
Torture.
just happened. And it's something that science is kind of amazed it actually happened. If anybody has ever been to one of the places I would love to go and walk through for a couple of days, which sounds very morbid, is Pompeii.
Oh God, yes.
The bodies of the people were instantly mummified.
Oh, they found a new one though. They found a new one. The skeleton is sticking out of the ground, and there's this huge boulder connected straight to his face.
Yep.
Straight to his head. And you just see the skeleton sticking out of it. He didn't
They
get, well,
even
maybe
found,
was he lucky? Maybe he was
I
lucky.
don't know.
Instant
I don't know.
smash.
I think that's kind of like the oubliette type thing, is if you're lucky if you died instantly. The fast moving waves of hot ash and volcanic gases mummified the people in Pompeii and in
Herculaneum.
Thank you. From Mount Vesuvius. I can't say that one and look at it. I'm sorry. But they have found these bodies where they are completely mummified.
Yeah. I mean,
And they are
there's bread in the oven. They're like they got stuff in their hands. They're holding loaves of bread. You know.
They're
So yeah, they better Pompeii our asses for good service, right?
It's like they found people who had gone into caves, quote unquote, where they were quote unquote protected from the ash. Well, no, they weren't, because they were underground, but they were enough above ground that they found there was a noble woman and her daughters, and both she and her daughters, this is why they know that another reason why they know that the American Indians did not give the world syphilis, because this mother and her daughters, their bodies showed the signs of syphilis. The girls were twins who had been born with syphilis and had damage done to their body when they were when their mother was pregnant. The syphilis did damage to their body when they were in vitro. Thank you.
Al Capone died of syphilis. Al Capone died of syphilis.
Yes, he did. He probably didn't even know who he
so
was.
did Hitler too.
He went psycho.
Yeah.
Hallucinations. Mm-hmm.
But there's lots of different ways, and we can go into that another time, because we're gonna have to end this.
Yeah.
Should Kenny go live later today on
Yes, he should.
Resident Evil? You guys go give a vote.
please.
He's got 8 votes, and I don't see anything listed there. Yes or no?
I voted.
Yes.
I said
I
yes
voted.
because I love watching Resident Evil. There's a good chance that I will.
Is he
I
going
will
to be
try
playing
everything to be
Village?
there.
Is he going to be
hope so.
playing the Village?
Yeah, I find it pretty
Yes,
sad that
yes,
game
The Village.
plots are a lot more fun to watch as compared to most movies nowadays. But that's just my opinion.
I've always liked watching people play games. I don't know
Well,
why.
the problem with like Resident Evil is you have people who make the movies who have never played the games, and they just go off of what they think it's supposed to be.
Mm. No, it's different. No, it's really great watching Mysterio and Kenny play it, because the moment something wicked happens, all of a sudden they start singing. They're like, "Oh my God!" we have to
Yeah,
go."
Oh my God, yes. I live for those moments, guys. If you have not seen Dezombified play a horror game, you are sadly missing out, because it is the greatest experience that you will ever have.
Poor things.
I'm not even kidding. I
Nothing
fucking love it.
denied. They're fun.
Oh my God! We're going to
Yeah.
die! We're going to get it.
Okay, so we will see you guys next week.
Mhm.
Horror
time,
Honey
same place.
channel, same.
Or a honey plate.
Oh my goodness, we're gonna. I have to check with Bathsheba because she has a guest for us for next month, and I have to check with her and make sure next week it's not that week.
Oh,
But,
yeah, we're going to set it up. We're setting it up. I just want to
Yes,
make sure
we
that
are.
doesn't, because, he's got Father's Day coming up and everything. We don't want to land on that day and everything. So we want to have a couple days or a couple, like a week or so in advance before we release that. So, but it's going to be a great guest.
So
great
he
guest.
is not with us next week. We will be doing the most gory, gruesome deaths in history. Yes.
Oh, we're going
have
all
a
the
list.
way.
We have
It's
a list.
worse than today. Oh God, no.
Ah.
Oh my God, we're all gonna die. Oh my God, I can't do this.
Somebody said something about, we're dying, we're getting old, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, we were dying from the moment we took our first breath, and we were growing old from that point too. So yeah.
Yep.
What would it matter anyway?
Nah.
Just have fun while it lasts. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Be the best person you can be.
Until we see you next week.
Bittersweet dreams.
Bittersweet dreams.
Bittersweet dreams.
Thank you guys. We love you.
Safe, everyone.
Stay safe. Or can you?
Dun, dun, dun.